Alcatraz. The Rock.
Dead ahead lies the infamous island of Alcatraz. The name Alcatraz comes from the Spanish word Alcatrazes, meaning strange birds or pelicans. Alcatraz, often called the Rock, in 1934 became a federal prison designed to house prisoners who were problems in other federal penitentiaries. Among the more noted criminals at Alcatraz were Scarface Al Capone, Machine Gun Kelly, Alvin Karpus, and famous Robert Stroud, the Birdman of Alcatraz. As we get closer, notice the treacherous curves around the island.
Today, the old prison is abandoned. An island of ghosts. The corridors and cells are empty. Yet for some, like former prisoner John Giles, it is a citadel full of haunting and bitter memories.
But I can't bring back any feeling of wonder or astonishment or anything. It's just as if I'd never left and never gone away. Everything looks just like it did in those days, when everything was so strict and you didn't know whether you were coming or going or whether you'd ever see daylight again.
In the very few cases where prisoners have disappeared from the island, all indications point to their being swept with the tide out through the Golden Gate to a watery grave.
A man with a long time, he's got only one thought. He wants to escape. Need to escape. You think it's the end of your life. You don't want to die in prison. You have that obsession. That's all you think about. That fills your waking hours from morning till night. My own life has been, it was pretty well misspent. There's just different ways of misspending your life, and I took the one that took me to jail, and other people, theirs leads them to other things. Those old cells are pretty small, when you come to think of it. 16 hours a day, looking out. It's pretty light now. In those days, you'd run smack up against the wall any time. You wandered around in the dark. But if you spend much time there, you had to do something to keep your mind from running haywire. To keep your mind off your thoughts.
In 1946, the historic Battle of Alcatraz took place. 2 convicts had managed to overpower their guards and took over the main cell block.
There was the machine guns, grenade rifles, the Springfields, the Garons, and between every burst, I still can remember that white-crowned sparrow that sang on the roof.
With the use of detonation bombs and anti-tank shells, the 3 leaders of the break were forced into utility corridors.
You could hear the water pipes busting. I could hear a man praying in the night.
A detachment of Marines guarded the prisoners still in the recreation yard.
The Marine lieutenant did. He said, watch those men down there. If they make a move towards this wall, and then I heard the sparrow sing, fire 1 round. And I heard the sparrow sing again. And then he said, shoot to kill.
Everybody has invisible bars around them. Alcatraz, as it is today, a deserted prison, symbolizes the nature of the picture, which is to do with incarceration, imprisonment, but not enforced imprisonment, but the kind of imprisonment that people impose upon themselves or that society imposes upon them.
Alcatraz is one of 29 locations in MGM's forthcoming film, Point Blank, directed by John Borman, starring Academy Award winner Lee Marvin, and featuring Canadian actor John Vernon. Director Borman describes more of his feelings for Point Blank.
This is a story of a man who is obsessed, and he pits himself against a criminal organization. And Lee Marvin plays a character who wants something from this organization. He wants a sum of money, which he believes to be his. And he goes for it in a very obsessional way, and in the process, totally destroys this organization.
The setting lends its own drama to this story of a man just free of prison who seeks a single-minded revenge.
Lee, I think, is remarkable. What he has is total concentration, which is what a film actor have to have. Because a film actor, you see, he's asked to stand around for hour after hour, and then suddenly, snap, he's got to come and do it. And he's got to perform as and when required, and then go back and sit down again.
The ghosts of Alcatraz walk with the actors as they work. For both Lee Marvin and featured actor Keenan Wynn, working in the prison is an awesome experience.
But the weather, isn't that primarily one of the things you have to worry about when you're out like this?
I find this a little grim.
I mean, the weather or
The weather and the island.
Would you rather be inside the studio?
I think there are lots of ways that'd be easier. I love location, but there's lots of difficulties. We're going to have to loop half of everything we've done.
That ocean sounds pretty warm, doesn't it?
You know, the cameraman said step back 6 inches.
Right, let's
you
do
see
it.
where I am?
It must have been terrible, seeing men living here day in and day out, hour after hour with no end to the days.
The empty corridors and cells evoke thoughts for co-star Angie Dickinson.
As I walk through the halls and look into each cell, I can't think of anything that I would want bad enough. No woman, no money, no hatred could be worth this.
All modern societies are based on fear. Now, if a man moves into that kind of situation and his fears are not predictable, then he creates havoc. The picture is called Point Blank because the hero is shot in the stomach at point blank range. And it's interesting that the emotional, physical confrontations in the picture are all at this point blank range. And the audience is that close to the action as well.
Time has overtaken Alcatraz. For the first time, and possibly the last, a film has captured the rock as it was. Point Blank.